I don't know about you, but during this difficult time, I've been experiencing a lot of strong emotions. So I thought today would be a great opportunity to read you a story where the characters learn how to cope with strong emotions when facing tough times.
Today I'm going to read to you The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm by LeVar Burton and Susan Schaefer Bernardo, illustrated by Courtney Fletcher. Before we begin, it is important to understand three different terms that you will hear throughout the story. The first word is storm. A storm is a heavy fall of rain, snow, or sleet, often with strong winds. The word storm is the suffix for our next word, thunderstorm. A thunderstorm is a storm of heavy rain accompanied by lightning, thunder, wind, and sometimes hail. Our next word is tornado. A tornado is a twirling, narrow funnel of wind with speeds of 100 to 300 miles per hour that can cause damage. Did you know that our emotions are like a tornado? When we experience strong emotions, especially during difficult times, they can take over, spinning out of control, just like a tornado. In the story, you will also hear the metaphor, swallowing the storm. Swallowing a storm is what can happen when you hold in your feelings about terrible things that might be going on in your life. We swallow a storm when we don't talk about what is bothering us. The story begins when Micah Mouse is scared of a thunderstorm outside her home. To comfort her, her papa reads her a story about how a young rhinoceros is also scared by a storm that took away all he loved. Let's begin our story. In the middle of the morning, Micah Mouse trembled under her blanket. A storm boomed outside her window. Rain crashed against the glass. Wind rattled the shutters. More than anything else, Micah was afraid of storms. A year before, a powerful hurricane had destroyed her home. "I'm scared, Papa," she said. "We are safe, Micah. This storm will pass soon," said Papa. "Would you like me to read you a story? I know just the one to help you feel better." Micah loved books, and Papa's gentle voice soothed in a way that made her forget all about the thunder. Papa opened the book and began. Long, long ago, before there were words, animals roamed in bountiful herds. Little Rhinoceros lived happy and free, exploring mountains and meadows, rivers and trees. His world was delightful and chock full of magic, until out of the blue, the magic turned tragic. A storm swept through the valley, turning bright sky to black. A flash flood came raging, no time to react. Lost in the thundering, no time for wondering. Chaos and lightning, fury so frightening. Earth quaking, him shaking. Water rumbling, him tumbling. Raggedy, jaggedy, senseless calamity. The storm crashed through his world and tore it apart. It took away everything dear to his heart. Rhino was stunned by the terrible scene, death and destruction all through the ravine. Enraged by the pain of such great loss, Rhino acted without a thought to the cost. Rhino looked at his world, all tattered and torn, stood out on the ledge and swallowed the storm. Inside his belly, he felt the storm growing. Inside his head, he heard howling and blowing. Like a tornado, he spun as the storm raged inside, growing bigger and bigger and wider than wide. When he finally stopped, when he regained control, he was at the very bottom of a very deep hole. What to do? Rhino worried as rain dripped on his face. I'm lost and I'm lonely and in such a dark place. At just the right moment to comfort and guide him, a spider dropped down and dangled beside him. The world up above is shattered and gray, but it's where you belong, so you must find a way to let that storm out and move through your sorrow, you'll find many helpers on your road to tomorrow. Oh, but that hole was dreadfully deep, and the walls all around him were slippery, steep. Rhino tried to climb out, but was losing all hope, when Kangaroo heard him and threw down a rope. Though Rhino was heavy from the weight of the storm, they towed him right up, got him safe, dry, and warm. We're strong and steady and always ready. When danger strikes, we hop to it. Fire or flood, snow or mud. When help is needed, we'll pull you through it. Watching those heroes do what they did best gave Rhino the strength to set off on his quest. The storm he was clutching made him buzzy and blurry. It kept his brain foggy and filled him with worry. Where do I go? What do I do? How will I ever make it through? After every dark night, there comes a new day. Be kind, do your best, and you'll find your way. Up comes the sun. There are steps to complete. There isn't a map. Just follow your feet. Rhino followed his feet to a wallowing spot where he plopped on a rock and had a deep thought. I'm tired of caging the wind and the rain, exhausted from holding this anger and pain. We're all on this earth to learn and to grow, a wise old tortoise chimed in from below. Allowing yourself to start feeling your feelings is the very first step on the journey toward healing. It doesn't much matter if you're fast or you're slow. If you want to move forward, just trust and let go. Rhino shook and shimmied and stomped in the muck. And just as he hoped, the storm came unstuck. At first, one little raindrop leaked out of his eye. Then Rhino let go and had a good cry. His tears formed a river that flowed to the sea, where a pod of whales swam happy and free. I do feel better, Rhino thought as he drifted. Then up swam a whale, and Rhino was lifted. If you ever feel blue, the whale said with a spout, remember to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Sing your own song and take it deep, deep, deep. Then rise above with a joyful leap. As he floated home on a gentle wave, Rhino felt calm and strong and brave. His vision was clear like the sky above, and he looked at his world through eyes filled with love. He thanked the kind spider and the brave kangaroo and all of the others who helped him through. He was glad to know that if he ever lost hope, they'd lend him a hand or throw him a rope. He had journeyed his journey a very long way to find the light in a world turned gray. He swallowed a storm with no thought of the cost. He felt all alone. He had tumbled and tossed. Life would bring changes, beginnings and ends. But he had faith in himself and faith in his friends. As they curled up together, he felt loved and protected, and he dreamed of a world that was safe and connected. He understood now it was love that mattered. Love could never be lost. Love could never be shattered. Papa closed the book and gave Micah a hug. I know it was scary when our home was destroyed last winter, said Papa. Bad things happen sometimes, and we can't always control that. But we had lots of helpers, said Micah, just like Rhino did. That's right, little one, Papa said in his gentle way. You're never really alone when bad things happen. There are family and friends, even people we don't know, who are always there to help us through tough times. Let's go back and look at how Rhino felt at the beginning of the story. Rhino felt sad, angry, lonely, scared. As you can see, Rhino was experiencing a lot of strong emotions. Now let's take a look at Rhino's feelings at the end of the story. At the end of the story, Rhino was feeling comforted, happy, and loved. Just like Rhino, we may face difficult and tough times that may cause us to feel emotions similar to what Rhino felt at the beginning of the story. What caused Rhino to feel these emotions? That's right, a storm. A storm swept through the valley and it turned his bright skies to black. The storm crashed through his world and tore it apart, and it took away everything that was dear to little Rhinoceros's heart. After the storm, Rhino's anger quickly turned to rage by the pain of losing everything he loved. Do you remember how Rhino coped with his emotions after the storm? That's right. He swallowed the storm. Remember, swallowing the storm is a metaphor. We swallow a storm when we don't talk about what is bothering us. We swallow a storm when we keep our emotions bottled up inside. What happened when he swallowed the storm? Yes, Rhino felt worse. Swallowing the storm did not help him cope with the emotions. The emotions just grew bigger and bigger. And what ended up happening is those emotions, sadness, anger, worry, and fear, started spinning around. His emotions felt like a tornado, twisting inside his belly. His emotions were spinning out of control, just like a tornado. Let's take a look at how Rhino learns to cope with those strong emotions. My next question is, who helped Rhino feel better? Yes, Rhino met new friends on his journey that helped him learn how to cope with his emotions. First, he met a kind spider. The kind spider taught him that bad things may happen, but you can find many helpers to get you through tough times. Next, Rhino met Brave Kangaroo, who taught him that there are many strong and steady heroes to help us when we are facing troubled times. This gave him the strength to continue on his journey. Rhino also met a wise tortoise who taught him that we all have to learn and grow. It is important that we let ourselves feel our feelings. Fast or slow, we just need to keep moving ahead. Rhino also met an uplifting whale who taught him that when you feel a storm coming, it is important to breathe. Just breathe and try to rise above it. By reading the story, Papa Mouse taught Micah all kinds of people are willing to help during bad times. It is important to express your feelings and talk to a trusted adult to help get you through tough times. Talking with a trusted adult is very important, but there are also many other strategies that we can use to help us through different storms. Another strategy that I would like to share with you is a calm down box. A calm down box is a great tool to help you reduce stress and anger levels in a positive way, but it is also a great tool to help you control those tornado of emotions that you may feel during stressful or difficult times. It's a box that will contain several items that bring you happiness and comfort. A calm box will be different for everybody because the items that are in the box are specific to you. They're items that bring you happiness and comfort. Here is a list of ideas that can get you started on your way to creating your very own personal calm down box. Your challenge is to make your own calm down box.